I'm not going back and forth with a man who thinks that they should be in my position. If you want to be in my position, get in my position.
Do you believe that?
Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show on YouTube at Bluff City Media. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Anthony Sain.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show here live from the Bluff City Media Studios. It's your host, Anthony Sain. Got my guy, Kenny Stubblefield, behind the glass. What's going on, Kenny? Man.
My bad. I didn't turn my mic on.
Yeah, you good.
Everything's good, man.
Yeah,
Everything's good over here.
Man, for sure. My man, Parrish Sharkey in the building. He ain't going to grab the mic or nothing. He back there in the back doing this thing, man.
I'm about to get Parrish a mic for next time,
get
man.
that man a third mic.
You got to get a third mic back here for him.
My man, Parrish Sharkey in the building. But yeah, man, it's another day here in the Bluff City Media Studios. Anthony Sain Show is kicking off. Got a special guest today, man. My guy Pete Pranica is joining us for the sit down with Sain. He's going to come in a minute. Excited to have my boy Pete on, man. Just a legend. Of course, the play-by-play commentator for the Memphis Grizzlies. Want to say hadn't been here the whole time that the Grizzlies have been here, but he's been here most of it for sure. We'll talk about those things, what the future looks like. I want to kind of ask him about this Bally stuff, man. Is that?
Yeah.
Can I ask him about that?
He might say, let me say.
I'll ask him before the interview if I can talk to him about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, let's do it like that for sure with my man Pete Pranica for sure. Also, of course, they're doing the three-pointer. I'm going to talk about this Kevin Porter Jr. stuff, man. I got to, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to say, but I think it'll come to me between now and then. I'm going to talk about Derrick Rose got married. That was pretty cool. That was pretty dope. And, yeah, man. Coach Prime, about to get on y'all ass.
Man.
Yeah, you just know it's coming for sure.
Colorado State coach, man.
Yeah. Most of the time we've been doing the show, Kenny, hasn't been a lot of actual sports going on. But now we're about to be being thrusted into sports season. NFL is going on. College football is going on.
Yep.
Tiger basketball, the Grizzlies are coming. So now it's kind of hard. Some things it's kind of hard to talk about. Like you're watching this show, but by the time you watch this show, you already know where the University of Memphis won versus Navy. I'm not going to speak on it. Y'all tell me what happened.
Right.
I'm not going to speak on it, man. I'm not going to speak on that at all. But we're recording this probably an hour or so before the game kicks off. But yeah, so yeah, it's kind of one of those things about the way we record the show. It's kind of some things we can't really talk about on that for sure. Inside the Same Brain is going to be fun. I had the discussion that I had it at work today, kind of to test the room on it. It's a topic that's for women for the most part, and I threw it out to a group of women. I got a mixed response. Yeah, so I'm gonna see what the people say. But since the last time we talked, Kenny Stubblefield, there's been a lot of talk about arena fund allocation. University of Memphis people, Laird Veach and all those dudes have been getting their shit off about the whole subject. Brad Carson put a very strange tweet out the other day.
Love Brad.
Yeah, Brad's my guy, man. I got to see Brad today. You guys are watching Friday. I got to see Brad today, like an hour before this show airs. Of course, I do the Jason and John show, but Brad put a tweet out basically saying I think Brad has like a wrestling history or like something, because a lot of stuff he says comes off very Vince McMahon-ish. You know what I mean? The stuff he says. He says something like, if the University of Memphis wants the money they want from the allocation, they need to do a sellout the rest of the season. Like,
sounds like a wrestling match where the winner wins,
loser leaves town,
type of deal. Yeah,
because he did this again before with Ryan Silverfield, where he was like, if Ryan Silverfield wants the job, go win the bowl game. Like you win that bowl game, you get the job. Yeah. Brad, don't ever put Brad in TV, man. He's gonna make some type of reality show where it's like Survivor or something like that for sure, man. Memphis Survivor for sure. But yeah, Brad's a funny dude, man. And that conversation turned into other conversations and people, getting their shit off about Tiger football, Tiger basketball, all these type of things. And the conversation came up about, the Tigers being the city's team, and if the Grizzlies leave, whatever. Which led me to put out one of my better tweets of all time, probably.
that was one of them.
Here's the thing, man, and I'm the type of person, I told you about this. People have the right to be upset. They have the right to be offended or feel however they feel. And I'm the type of person I will allow you that right. If you're being respectful towards me, I will gladly respond to a DM conversation if your conversation is respectful and you're making sense.
You've proved that over the last day or two.
And if you're asking questions, I will answer your question. But I had this conversation with a guy today via Instagram. I don't know why people are jumping to my Instagram DM, but I found out today that like I had my Twitter set up where you can't DM me if I don't follow you unless you're verified. I don't remember setting my account up.
I think when Elon took over,
it automatically
transferred to that.
Yeah, I didn't know that because I like to keep my DMs open, so because you never know, man. I've had like
business opportunities.
Yeah, teenagers come to me and saying like, "Hey, man, you know, I want to learn the ropes of what you do, how to do what you're doing, whatever, that type of stuff." So I'm kind of feeling the way that they're not open, but it's like a guy came to me on Instagram today, and I told him, I said, "Man, as long as we speak in truths, we can have this conversation. But if you're going to like project what you think I'm saying on me, or you're going to like tell me what you want me to be saying, well, the conversation is going to end. But if you have questions to ask or you want clarity on what I'm trying to say to you, say in my tweets. I'll tell you. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Had a lady that was offended by something I said. I had to break it down for her. Something I said on Jason and John's show a year ago, she was offended by it. So I had to clear that up with her. You know what I mean?
Just today?
No, this happened a few weeks ago. Oh. That's the Inside the Same brand I've been wanting to talk about for a long time.
Yeah.
But I haven't got to.
Yeah.
So, of course, conversation was about how University of Memphis means more to the city, so we shouldn't be bowing down to the Grizzlies. That was kind of the theme of the morning. And I said what I had to say to that, and I spoke about how, all right, if people ask me why there's so many things with me come down to race. And if you want to be honest, I think more things should come down to race. You know what I mean? If you really want to talk about it. We talked about some of those things, off the air today, about how race probably plays a part in a lot more stuff than we give credit for. Like calling out Deion Sanders for no apparent reason. That was one of the things we talked about. That probably comes down to race. Do I want to go here? Let me see where it's something I was debating about talking about. Well, I'll give y'all a quick history lesson to kind of set up this conversation. Are you okay with it, Ken?
Man, all
right.
Go with it.
All right, you basically an overview. The history of the United States is pretty f***ed up. Like let's look through that lens, all right? And with that, the history of the South is especially f***ed up. All right? And if you dig a little deeper, the history of Memphis has its own swing, his own
cul-de-sac in that, effed upness.
Right, exactly. So and with that being said, there are a lot of people who nobody wants to have that finger pointed on them of being racist, and it goes across the board.
Right.
White people don't like to be called racist. Black people don't either. Now, it's debatable whether you say black people can even be racist. I'll let you guys make that own decision on your own. I lean towards that we can't, but we'll have that discussion another day. There's a certain level of power that comes with racism. A certain level of authoritative. To have a certain level of authority you have to be racist. It's not just how you feel about something. It comes with power. Anyway, I'll say that for another discussion. And with that being said, there are a lot of injustice. There are a lot of bias. There are a lot of systems that have been put in place where where black people are not playing on an equal playing ground in America. I'll give y'all a quick history lesson. There was this thing called slavery. Happened a couple of years ago. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to let you play the role of a slave master, all right?
Jesus Christ. Parrish, I'm going to pass the mic to Parrish.
Yeah, pass the mic to Parrish Shark.
Yeah. The Parrish is going to be the slave master.
All right.
Because I might have some slave masters in my ancestry. Right. So
you ain't checked your ancestry.com in a while, so I got you.
I don't even want to know.
All right, pass the mic to Parrish. We just do it.
Got real.
Just gonna ask you a quick yes or no question. All right, Parrish Sharkey. Are you on the mic, Parrish Sharkey?
Yes, I am.
All right, quick question for you. I want you to assume that you're a slave owner, right? You had this free labor for hundreds of years in America, right? Where you had these black people that were being your slaves. All right. If there was a rule or there was the result of a war said that you no longer can legally have slaves, right? All right. You know that happened, right? So let's say that happened, all right?
Yeah.
So, okay, would you send your slaves off with a care package or how to survive in America kit? Would that come out? Right. All right. So basically, what I'm saying, Kenny Stubblefield, what I'm saying, Perry Sharkey, what I'm saying to the listeners and supporters of this show, we get the part of, we understand the part of slavery ended in America, but we don't get the part that we didn't get a care package, bro. Like nobody, we weren't set out.
Facts.
We weren't set out for success. We weren't set out to, and hey guys, sorry about that. Wish you guys the best. Hey, there's some land over there. You know, go do your thing. There were several things, several systems in place, several organizations in place that made our life hell ever since slavery.
Yep.
That's a real thing. And you also may want to check history to see, let me not get too caught up in slavery, because then people start thinking black people came over here on boats. Yeah. Which is a whole nother discussion for y'all. I know Kid is like, get this man out of this.
That could be a full episode in itself.
All right, so let's fast forward to 2023. And there was a tweet I put out, and I've got white friends. Matter of fact, Kenny Stubblefield is one of them. Let's go. But no, I'm joking about that part. But fast forward to 2023. The tweet I put out, because there's this thing, like I said, people were saying that the University of Memphis Tigers are the city's team. And I said, okay, that's nonsense. And the reason why is because if we're having discussions about where games are being played, we're talking about live attendance at games. You're talking about people who show up to the Liberty Bowl or whatever y'all call it, that building now. You're talking about people who are showing up to FedEx Forum for Tiger games. You're talking about people who show up for University of Memphis games. You're talking about people who show up for the Southern Heritage Classic. If you're talking about live games, I'm talking about the demographic of people who are showing up to the games. All right? I am aware that there are a ton of black people that support University of Memphis basketball, football, all these sports. But if we're having a conversation about who is attending games live, it sounds ridiculous to say that this is the city's team when the people who go to those games do not reflect the city. That was the basic premise of the tweet that I put out yesterday that so many people are upset about, that so many people feel seen about. I've had, God bless them, I've had nice 60-year-old women saying, Sain, this hurt my feelings. And I said, Miss Mildred, I understand. Like, you know, like what can I say to you? You know what I mean? What can I say to these sweet women that are coming to me or whatever? Now, I've had people who have came back and said some, ridiculous things to me. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not lying about anything. Like one of the biggest unkept secrets, one of the things I've heard so many people talk about for years are blue hairs. What are blue hairs, Kenny Stubblefield? What are blue hairs, Perry Sharkey?
Old white women.
It's the stigma that has been spoken over Tiger athletics, that when you go to especially a Tiger basketball game, you're surrounded by a bunch of old people. Mm-hmm. And they're old white rich people. And it's been that way for all of my adult life. That's the stigma that people have said about when you go to these games. I didn't create that yesterday. Sorry, I didn't. And the only statement I was making to people is, if you go to a game and you're surrounded by predominantly white people and predominantly rich people, that does not reflect Memphis.
Not at all.
It doesn't look like the city at all. And it's not a big secret that it doesn't look like the city. It doesn't feel like the city. Go to a Grizzlies game, you might see Moneybag Yo playing Big Bank, Take Little Bank. You might see that.
Might see his crew taking people's seats on the first row and behind the goal.
Exactly. You might see my guy, I'm trying to think of his name. I went to college with the dude. I can't remember his name, but I see him. He has a beautiful wife and kids. Black family, they're sitting on the front row. I see a bunch of stunning-ass black people at Grizzlies games. I'm like, damn, it's a lot of black money in the city, man. Front row at the Grizzlies games, a ton of black people down there. Stunning. You understand what I'm saying?
Got
but
Boosie and Cat Williams.
it's not just black people. You see Asian people, Indian people. You see tons of people, and not just upper class. You see people of all classes at the Grizzlies games. You see black, white, everybody.
Hey, can
kids.
I say something to that, Anthony?
Go ahead.
Quick? The conversation that I've heard people say, I mean, obviously because of your affiliation with Bluff City Media, obviously, we get
how do you support a racist?
We get phone calls and we get conversations and all that as well. And the response that I've heard a lot of is you look at the Tigers games and look at the way that the Memphis Tigers have set up their ticket opportunities for the lower bowl.
Dude, I'm not talking about no money. Black people got money, bro.
But no, here's what I'm saying.
Go ahead. I'm glad you said that though. Go ahead.
But here's what I'm saying is a lot of those lower bowl tickets are like corporations and large companies that have purchased those tickets. That's why there's so many older white people.
Yeah,
there.
whatever.
And my response is, again, that's an issue, right? Like, again, that's a problem.
Right.
In my opinion.
I'm talking about a have versus have not situation. If you really want to go to that type of stuff. Like, but that's what you're describing. But what I'm saying is, bro, black people in Memphis got money, bro. but guess what? We're choosing not to spend our money at those games because the games suck.
Yep.
I mean, can we say that?
Facts.
They're freaking boring as shit, man.
For one, they playing who? Wichita State? I'm not paying money to see the folks
Not
play.
just that, the in-game, the in-arena experience is ass.
The college basketball
It's
period
ass.
It's a bad product.
Like black people just ain't going to that. Like, it's not a cool after-work event for the people who work downtown. They're not going to a Tiger game because they're surrounded by, it looks like a morgue in there, man. Like, it looks like, like I said, it looks like a Billy Joel concert, and I've been to one, so I know what they look like. I mean, damn, man. Like, it's people trying to say, "Oh, why are you making this about race?" No, I'm pointing out the obvious. Like, those games do not look like the city of Memphis, man.
Nope.
What are you talking about? And I told the dude on Instagram, I say, when you go to your, because I've had people who are like in those pictures I posted, right, who got mad at me, like, "Oh, that's me in there." Like, okay, all right. Next time you go to the game, take 2 steps forward, turn around, and look around at the crowd. And actually, does it look? Tell yourself, does it look like Memphis or not? It don't. It may look like you're Memphis because you probably don't even live here. You live in the suburbs somewhere. It may look like your reality, but it don't look like Memphis, man. Don't argue with me about that because it's a stupid conversation.
Yeah, folks need to go back and re-listen to the 901 Day podcast that you did.
Yeah.
You're Inside the Same Brain, where you talk about, you got a whole theory on what the city of Memphis looks like and where it's at,
man.
and the parameters around it, who can celebrate
Kidding.
901 Day. And I think that speaks to kind of what you're discussing here. Like, you're talking about inside the city of Memphis. Like, yeah, you live in the 901 area code, but
Yeah, I'm always saying
this is
Memphis,
my
man.
city, man. Like,
My man Ryan Hancock did a live on Twitter yesterday. I didn't even know lives on Twitter even existed no more. Not the way he did it, because it looked like the old, it looked like Periscope the way he did it. But he was basically saying, like, man, y'all saying this right. And he brought up a point that I had totally forgot about, man. He said, man, the Tigers used to play in the Mid-South Coliseum in the middle of Orange Mound. He said back then, Negroes was in the Coliseum, bro. We was in there because we could walk there.
Yep.
When they moved all this stuff downtown, no.
Yep.
That's when Blue Hair started, when they went downtown. But, man, I'm going to say this, man. Because I don't really want to give a lot of energy to this because it's really stupid. Because people they're missing the whole point. But I work in social services. I'm a social worker for one of the greater organizations in the city of Memphis. And with that being said, I was in a training today, and some stats came up on the screen, and it just spoke to me so much, man. It spoke to me so much. Let me see if I got these on my phone, bro.
What are the stats based on?
This is in 2022, Kenny, in Parrish. The population, out of all the people in Memphis, 141,627 people in the city of Memphis were living in poverty, were deemed to be living in poverty. That's 21% of the population, guys. That is enough people to fill the FedEx Forum 8 times. You can fill up to the top and empty the FedEx Forum 8 times the amount of people that live in poverty in the city of Memphis. Now you ask yourself, what about children? There are 162,768 kids in the city of Memphis living in poverty. That's 35% of the kids who live in the city of Memphis. Get the fuck out of my face telling me that what you see at these Grizzly games, or what you see at these Tiger games, what you see at these Tiger football games, Tiger basketball games, don't speak for Memphis. Those numbers speak for Memphis. That's a problem. That's a have versus have not problem. That's a heart issue in the city of Memphis, man. I don't care about your damn basketball games. I don't care about your Tiger football games. Honestly, I don't care about your Grizzly games. You just want me to be real with you. If you really want to talk about an issue, the audacity of you bastards to come to me about racism or come to me about what you're offended by, when nothing about your congregations, your silos, your group of people that you bring together to watch entertainment. And one guy had the audacity to tell me, sports, we go to the sports, we attend games, we watch games to escape from the real world. Nah, we don't need to escape from nothing. We need to deal with some of the issues in this city. We don't need escapes. We had enough escapes. We don't need to use sports to escape from anything. We need to deal with some of the issues in this city. But y'all enjoy your games. Go Tigers, go, all that type of stuff. But, yeah, get out of my face talking about racism just because I pointed out a real reality in this city, that the University of Memphis athletic games, they look nothing like this city at all. Now, you want to call that racism? Hey, call me whatever. But we about to take a break, man. When we come back, my boy Pete Pranica is going to be in the building. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies, the greatest organization in the city of Memphis. God damn it. Get the out of my face, man. We'll talk about that and more here on the Edge of the Sain Show. See y'all in a minute.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
Are they keeping it vanilla because they played two bad opponents, or is it just a very basic offense? Like, will there be any creativity to this offense this year?
I think that in the pass game, they have the tendency to get creative. Like that RPO to Toski is fun, like wide open. I hate to be this guy. I'd go with the latter. I don't know if there's a lot of creativity in the run game.
Yeah.
Tim Cramsey hasn't shown it. It's inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, outside zone, inside zone, inside. It just consistently out of the shotgun, handing a running back and in between the tackles and saying go. It's not working. You have to switch things up and give the defense a different look. And I don't think that Tim Cramsey's shown any level of tendency to do that. And
yeah, I do like the fact that they're throwing them the ball. They're giving them the ball in space there. But as far as running the ball and the running schemes, they're just not. They're not getting them in space. They're just ramming it up the middle.
Tune into On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And I wonder if Silverfield's time in the NFL is the reason for this, but it feels like a much more NFL style 100%. To do that, as opposed to what you see a lot in college is just keep doing your thing, keep putting up points.
I think style points really only matter if your job is on the line or you are playing a ranked opponent. I think that's really the only
Or
time.
You're at a place like Memphis where you have, like, you don't have a huge core fan base. That may not be the case at all college football programs.
Yeah.
But definitely in Memphis where you have, a core of 25,000-ish fans that are fans, and then you've got to bring in 10, 15 casual that are, their number one team is somewhere else. But if you're exciting and fun, they're going to come to a Thursday night game against Navy when their team's not playing.
But I think you also get that if you just win.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Edge of the Sain Show. It's time for the Sit Down with Sain, one of the true legends in the city of Memphis, man, when it comes down to the Memphis Grizzlies, the greatest organization in the city of Memphis. Just to remind y'all again, from our first segment in the show, my man Pete Pranica is in the building, man. He's the man. Y'all know who he is. He's a play-by-play commentator. Been here almost as long as the Grizzlies have been here. As long as I can remember, for sure. I don't remember many times without Pete Pranica being here. Pete, glad to have you on, man. Welcome to our humble abode here in the Bluff City Media Studios. Been wanting to get you on for a minute, man. It's almost that time, man. We're not many days, not many weeks away from the Grizzlies starting training camp or whatever. You started your time in Portland, and I'll go ahead and get this question out of the way early. You witnessed a very young Zach Randolph.
Right.
And when Zach came to Memphis, he was around 28, 29 years old. He was married. He had children. He was kind of really settling into who he was, kind of slowing down. He was becoming that kind of more mature guy. When you see a guy like Ja Morant. I'm sure you knew where this question was going. We see a guy like Ja Morant, the struggles he's having, just maturing as a man, just making wiser decisions as an NBA pro. Does the fact that you saw Zach Randolph do it that version of Zach and then the version we got, and even once we got Zach, he still had some maturing to do, and he still go to that next level of maturity. When you saw that with Zach, does that give you more hope when you see Ja like, yeah, I've seen this. That kid's going to be all right. How do you feel about that whole situation?
Yeah, because Zach Randolph went into the Blazers organization that had some characters. Underline the word characters,
Right.
okay? And so he's 19 years old. He's coming from Michigan State. He's from Marion, Indiana. And then you go to Portland, Oregon, which it's an entirely different culture, entirely different demographic. And, you know, he had people around him who were guys from Marion. Hey, you owe us.
Yeah.
And one of the key memories of my time here in Memphis off the court, I did a Read to Achieve event with Zach Randolph. And the kid who read the most books, his prize was to get to interview Zach Randolph. And the young man, first question to Zach is, what's the hardest thing for a black athlete to learn? And Zach did not give him any, like BS fluff answer. He said, a lot of times the people who say they're your friends, they're not your friends. And you have to pick the people around you very, very wisely. And that, to me, indicated just how far Zach had come.
Yeah.
And he had matured. And I said it from the heart on the night that his jersey number was retired. I am proud of the man that you've become, because I had the unique perspective of seeing him when he was 19 as a rookie in Portland, and then seeing him close to the end of his career in Memphis.
Because a lot of people are kind of tripping about the whole thing with Ja, because he came on, like, people are like, there are people who actually watch Ja's Twitter like crazy, watch his Instagram,
right?
Who he's following, who he's not following, that type of stuff. Some guy was like, man, Ja just refollowed D-Tap on Instagram, and Ja was like, I'm for life. It's D-Tap for life. We're friends for life or whatever. But he said 5L, which means a little bit more than
even
40.
beyond.
We had to break it down for you, Pete, because we kind of break. I kind of got a history of breaking stuff down for you on Twitter. So I had to break that down. 5L means a little bit more than for life, basically. So, and my thing with that is, and it's always been my thing, like, it's not that Ja needs to cut off D-Tap. It's hard to tell a guy who D-Tap is more than just his friend. He's a guy who he says he looks at like his brother. And that's not, he's not just saying that. Like, that's a real relational, experiential thing where they've had these experiences and life lessons they've had together, where they have that family-like bond. And a lot of times in the African-American community, that's a real thing, man. You know what I mean? That's how I've tried to tell people. You just can't cut that dude off.
Right.
But they just have to move different. They have to grow and mature together and let their relationship turn into a much more professional relationship, and just get rid of some of the stuff that's causing the bad decision-making. So I'm confident that Ja is going to figure this thing out, man. But like I said, people talk about life lessons and did he learn from this and did he learn from this. I don't think it's that type of thing. I think it's going to have to be he's just going to have to grow older. He's just going to have to mature, and we just have to just kind of hope that there's little collateral damage as he grows up. I just think we just kind of got to wait him out, man.
Yeah, and I thought T's comment that this isn't about the
stop
people
throwing
around
it on
Ja.
people. Yep.
Yeah, John needs to make better decisions, and I don't think there's any disputing that fact. And so his reaction or his interaction with Devontae has to be, we're friends, and I can push back on you and say, that's not a good choice for me. Because to give you a sense, Anthony, of the impact, middle of last season, I get a call from the NBA because American Express wants to run an ad, and they want to use some of my calls for Ja Morant. Which
They cut you a check for that?
What? Huh?
They paid you for that?
Of course.
Ah, my God. Go ahead.
Well, see, the NBA owns my intellectual property. American Express does not. And I said, yeah, you want to use it? And my agent negotiated, et cetera,
a little something.
Yeah, a little something.
Slight work, yeah.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, here is an ad for American Express. He was featured twice in that ad, which was like maybe 15, 20 seconds. And then all this happens, and you go to Summer League, and there are posters of all the, the NBA stars of today. There's no Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Here he is. He's one of the most popular athletes in the world. The jersey sales are off the charts.
Man, shoes.
And hopefully he gets it all together and he gets in a good headspace and can be a productive player and have better decision making.
Yeah. In the meantime, in between time, we've got an entire season coming.
Right.
It's coming soon, man. Be here before you know it. Ja won't be there, of course, for at least those 25 games. He's got those benchmarks he's got to hit, hoping he stays out of trouble, hoping he does whatever he needs to do to get back on the court as soon as possible. But it's undeniable that he will be missing, those 25 games. With that being said, the guys that are left behind, the Jaren Jackson Jr.'s, the Desmond Baines, the Marcus Smart, those type of guys. How do you think this team looks after those 25 games are over?
I think that they're going to more than tread water. I think they're going to be fine. The acquisition of Marcus Smart, just an amazing story that he basically fell in Zach Kleiman's lap, which, Zach Kleiman, hey, we always wanted a guy like Marcus Smart, if not Marcus Smart himself.
Right.
And then because of a failed physical, all of a sudden now he becomes available. Here's a guy that has been to the NBA Finals, a guy who has tremendous experience. He's a high character guy, toughness guy. I mean, everything about Marcus Smart's game screams Memphis.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a great fit for this basketball team. And I really and truly believe, and this is not sentiment on my part, Anthony, I really believe that Derrick Rose has something in the tank that he can offer this team. That, he was kind of marginalized with the Knicks. I don't think he's going to be marginalized here. He's going to be called upon to be a leader. And I think when you talk about guys in a locker room who can be a great influence on John Morant, here's a guy in Derrick Rose who has been to the top individually, suffered catastrophic injury, and has worked his way back. So it's a different type of adversity, but certainly can understand the Memphis market, understand what it's like to, be rookie of the year and to be at those heights, and then to have to overcome adversity. So I think that's going to be great. The guy that I am most excited about becoming more of a leader in this team is Desmond Bain.
Yeah.
I'd
love to see what that looks like. Yeah.
Had a chance to talk to Des after he signed the new contract in Las Vegas, and you could see in his eyes that he's starting to feel his voice as a leader for this basketball team. And when you think he basically had a career year on a busted toe for half the year, that tells you how tough and mentally strong he is.
Do you see him taking an All-Star leap this year?
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, he looks like he's poised to do something, man, for sure. He's always been a guy who's always had that confidence. You go back to his rookie year in the playoffs. You saw he had the confidence there. But it's gonna be exciting to see how that all plays out. Speaking of confidence, Jaren Jackson Jr. just wrapped up the FIBA basketball tournament. We all were ranting and excited about, man, this is gonna be a great opportunity for Jaren. He's gonna build his confidence. He's gonna take him to the next level, playing this level of competition. He was looking like he was really impacting games, even through the time he's getting criticized. He still was, it was a positive impact on the game for sure. But what are your thoughts now, looking at it in retrospect, especially with some of the direct criticism that Jaren was getting and how he did or didn't handle that criticism? Because there was an interview I was like, man, where some guy was asking Jaren, he just looked defeated in the face. You know what I mean? So, what are your opinion of how that tournament may have affected Jaren going forward?
Well, I think it put him under more of a spotlight than maybe he's ever been under before. And so you learn from
because you got the whole country coming in.
You got the whole country.
Literally.
Yeah, you represent. You get USA across your chest.
Right.
I mean, it's an entirely different experience for him. And I think he understands too. I think the way Desmond Bain has grown into his role, I think Jaren's growing into his role. Defensive Player of the Year. Now, guys are going to come after you because you think you're the DPOY? Well, I'm going to show you.
Right.
Just like guys who go Rudy Gobert all the time. And so guys are going to come after him, and he's going to have to be mentally strong. And there's going to be an opportunity those first 25 games without Ja. There are points available. There are touches available. There are minutes available. And I just think playing on an international stage and dealing with the brighter spotlight and playing for your country, I'm sure there were some moments where he probably did feel a little deflated and a little defeated. But I think overall, it's a positive experience. It's positive for the city of Memphis. It's a positive for the Grizzlies organization. And I think through some of the adversity he faced there, I think he's going to grow, and I think it will show in the season upcoming.
Yeah, I think he's going to bounce back fine, man. I think he's going to have a great season. Like I was telling people just, in private conversations, we've seen Jaren battle against players of his ilk, of his caliber in the NBA, and look like the best player on the court. You know what I mean? I think that we're kind of putting a lot into these, few weeks of the FIBA tournament. I think he's going to bounce back fine. I think that level of adversity is just going to push him. It's just going to get him more ready. He knows what he has to do. He knows Job's not going to be here in the beginning of the season. I'm expecting a All-NBA level season from Jaren. I'm not saying he's going to make an All-NBA team, but I think he's a guy that's definitely going to be in consideration. I think he's definitely going to be an All-Star. I think DPOY, again, is in the card. So I'm not going to be too down on him at all because there was a lot of stuff. I don't think that Steve Kerr managed him at the best he could at all. So, and I've said that everywhere to everyone who wants to hear it, pretty much.
And the FIBA officiating wasn't necessarily the best either.
Exactly. So I'm not really worried about Jaren at all. One thing I am worried about is that Dylan Brooks was looking like the Canadian Mamba for sure. Against Team USA, 39 points. He had the antics going. I'll say this, man. I know you feel the same way. Because I know you're a fan of Dylan the Villain as well. I'm not going to miss a lot. I don't think I'm going to miss a lot basketball-wise from Dylan. But there are so many things about Dylan that had nothing to do with him putting a ball in the basket or not putting the ball in the basket that I'm going to miss more. I'm going to miss his stuff, man, his antics, the stuff he said, his confidence. You're talking about a dude who, no matter what you say about Dylan Brooks, you can never say that he took games off. You never say a game you feel like he was half-assing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a very entertaining dude, man. He embraced being a villain. I'm going to miss that about him at all. Do you think we'll have any regrets on the court as far as Dylan is concerned?
I don't think so. I enjoyed being around Dylan, and
he's
the
great,
Dylan the Villain thing, was fun to talk about. Dylan was one of the guys. He would sign every autograph. He'd take every picture.
Yep.
He was great with kids. I think what ended up
great with his kids.
Great with his kids. I think his persona became so big that it outstripped his performance on the court.
Yeah.
And so people were more interested in the fits, the comments. And then the other thing, too, is, the persona was such that, okay, he's missing games because he's too many technical fouls.
Yeah.
He's getting kicked out of games.
Yeah.
Well, the best ability is availability. And if you're not available to your team, obviously it's going to hurt you. I mean, there were games where Dylan was absolutely fantastic, and then there were games in the playoffs against the Lakers where Dylan really, really struggled. And he's one of those. The three would go up, and half the time you're like, and then maybe hit like 4 in a row. It was you never knew what you were going to get with him.
Because I was telling people were getting excited because, like, man, look at Dylan, look at his numbers. He shot like 60-something% from three in the FIBA. I'm like, look, man, I've seen 2 to 3 week stretches of Dylan where he's done the same exact thing, where he looks like that guy who's this perfect 3-and-D player. And I've seen stretches where he, can't do nothing. But I think all the stuff he did is calculated. I think he wants to be a villain. I think he wants to get that because that's marketable, man. That's money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, more people were talking about Dylan Brooks, and most guys, most media people aren't talking about guys that average 12, 13 points a game.
Yeah.
But they talked about him because he was colorful.
Yeah.
He was Dennis Rodman without the tattoos.
Exactly. And the league is kind of running out of bad guys. You got Draymond Green. You got what's his name? Patrick Beverly, those type of guys. But as far as that, Dylan's like, look, man, the league could be mine in a minute. But I could be a prime villain in a couple of years. So I think everything he's doing was calculated. But I just think at certain points of the season, it kind of got away from him. It kind of got bigger than what he his own personal comfort level as far as they're concerned. But yeah, I wish him the best, man. But I'm not gonna say good riddance and nothing like that because there are aspects of his game I am going to miss. But yeah, man, I don't. I'm definitely gonna miss the pure entertainment that he brought to this city for years, man.
Yeah, for good or for ill, he's in the division, so you're gonna see him 4
a
times a year.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, like I'm not surprised that he cut the villain stuff up on 30 when he played against Team USA because I noticed stuff that a lot of people just don't notice. And Dylan Brooks would jump the national anthem every game, man. When they would play the national anthem, he would go out and do something before the song was over. And I'd be like, this dude is a maniac for sure. But yeah, shout out to Dylan Brooks. Shout out to Dylan for sure. As far as guys taking the next leap this season, a couple years ago, it was Desmond Bane where he took his leap. We've seen just, guys over time. Ja, of course, took a crazy leap. Santi Aldama took one last year where he took his game to the next level. Who do you think could take that? Will it be a guy? If it is, who do you think it could be?
I like Jake LaRavia this summer. because he was basically a guy that can give you some rebounding, but he's got to be a good three-point shooter. And last year he really struggled with it. He had one good game early on. I think it might have been at Sacramento, and then he got hurt and got sick and did really, really well with the Memphis Hustle. But as far as the Grizzlies were concerned, it was a bit more of a struggle. When you talk to the players, they will tell you, we think this is the year that Jake LaRavia is going to take a leap forward. I'm rooting for Zaire Williams. I love Zaire Williams as a person. And, last year he just got into a situation where his body wasn't strong enough to hold up. And so the whole deal about him not playing Summer League was to get him strength-wise, physically ready for an NBA season so that the tendonitis in the knees does not become a recurring thing. So you got to be stronger in other parts of your bodies, probably to build up his quads, to protect his knees. And so that was really the way the Grizzlies were going to approach it. Because we saw good things from Zaire in the rookie season, and he is a guy that I know has been championed by Tayshaun Prince. And I'll tell you what, talk about the Grizzlies front office. Tayshaun is their secret weapon.
Yeah,
I think he is. He is super sharp.
Yeah, for sure. When you look at the starting lineup, a lot of people are like before Ja comes back, opening night starting lineup. There's been a lot of people, the Chris Harringtons of the world, the Michael Coles. They're kind of putting out the narrative of
the Ibakas of the world,
right? They're putting out the narrative of like Luke Kennard starting at playing a 3-guard lineup, and basically saying like. When Ja comes back, you're going to be running 3 guards anyway. Marcus Smart is going to start being your, not particularly saying he's going to be your small forward, but he'll be your defensive specialist. So do you agree with that? Do you see, you mentioned a guy like Jake LaRavia. Do you see, who do you see starting at that wing position or what,
I saw one depth chart where David Roddy would start at the 3, and then you bring Luke Kennard off the bench. Because I also read in one of these articles that I think the Grizzlies' offense was 13 points better per 100 possessions with Luke Kennard on the floor. So those are like 6-man type numbers. So maybe Luke Kennard becomes your 6th man, and you get Roddy out there for defense, Bain for offense, Smart for offense and defense. I think that might be the way that you go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that whole thing definitely plays out for sure. I'm going to tell you something that's kind of like wrecking my brain a little bit. All right, you've got Brandon Clark who's out with an injury. You've got Jaren who played all minutes at center. Every minute Jaren played in FIBA was at center this summer. You've got Steven Adams, who you assume is going to be ready for camp. That might be a question all within itself. But you got Steven Adams, who assumes is going to be ready. Santi Aldama looked good in FIBA. You expect him to possibly take maybe another leap. You're talking about a guy who was super young in Santi Aldama. You got Kenneth Lofton, who might get minutes. You got Xavier Tillman. When Brandon Clark comes back, what is that rotation going to look like? Like I've thrown this out on Twitter a couple times, man. I said I would not be surprised if we've seen the final like productive major minutes of Brandon Clark. I mean, I could definitely see a scenario where he comes back and you're like, okay, what do we do with this dude? Like, who are we taking minutes from to get him on the court? I can see a situation where if teams think he's healthy, he might be a trade deadline guy. We may have seen Brandon Clark's last game if teams see that he's healthy. You know what I mean? I don't know. So what do you think that looks like, could possibly look like with Brandon Clark? Or do you stand on my side where you're like, dude, I don't know. Like that could be very interesting.
I'm right there with you. I don't know. It's going to depend on his rehab and when he's available.
Yeah.
Would he be ready to play basketball by the time you get to the trade deadline?
Yeah.
And we really don't know because there's no real timetable for it. So, and when he comes back, what's his level of play going to be? Because he relies on his explosiveness.
Yeah.
Is it going to be there? So I don't think you can really figure it out until you have some sense of how Brandon Clark is going to come back, when he's going to come back, but potentially you could have to make some very, very hard decisions there. And, you saw last season the way the season turned. Season starts, Xavier Tillman can't sniff the floor. Well, Xavier Tillman became one of the most valuable players in the second half of the year.
Wild stuff, man.
Yeah. So you have absolutely no idea how it's going to play out. So I think it's all going to be dependent upon when Brandon comes back and how well he performs when he does come back.
Yeah. All right, so Pete, we talked earlier about how you had young Zach Randolph, how you experienced him, and then you got to see Zach, a more polished, more mature version of him. You don't really have that luxury on this team. Our guys kind of are who they are. With that being said, what do you think this team looks like 5 years from now? Like when Ja's 29, or Ja and Jaren are approaching 30 like that. What does this team look like?
Well, I think you have that core of Bane and Ja and Jaren, and you're going to be looking at other pieces depending how the draft falls, depending how free agency falls. But you're going to have an awful lot of money tied up in those three guys. So that's going to be the big challenge.
Yeah.
And so then the question is Robert Parra okay with going into luxury tax if you think that getting that big free agent is going to put you over the hump? So, you kind of run the possibility that you had the core four and you were putting pieces around them, and now you've got the big three and putting pieces around them. The quality of the pieces and how well they fit is going to determine how well this basketball team plays. But I think for the long term, it's Ja and Jaren and Dez. That's your core.
Right. All right, now, Pete. Now, there was an announcement that came out today that said that it was talking about the games, the Bally games, like what games are going to be on TV, all those type of things. Long relationship with Bally now. Probably like, I don't know how many years it's been. We've had Bally's thing for a while. Now, I saw that report. Now I saw another report saying that Bally's might be struggling a little bit. So I'm like, all right. You know what I mean? And there was some other stuff about the NBA and all this type of stuff. Where do you stand and where does the team stand as far as Bally is, like the kind of uncertainties that Bally has right now?
Sure. Everything that we've been told is that it is business as usual. The reports in The Athletic indicated that Diamond Sports Group, which is the parent company, has enough capital to get through this basketball season. So we're operating situation normal. But given the fact that they are in Chapter 11, it's been reported that the league has contingency plans in place if there is a plot twist. So bottom line is, regardless of what happens with them, the games are going to be on the air. They're going to be televised, and it's going to be me and Brevin and Fish. And
that's all I need to hear, man.
Yeah.
But Pete, I have a final question for you, man. This is my man, Pete Pranica. Of course, y'all know him. Play-by-play commentator for the Memphis Grizzlies. Final question for you. It's more of a confession, Peter. I just got to be real with you. Kenny going to start laughing on this one. Pete, I know what
I'm Catholic. You've come to the right place.
Right. I got a confession for you, my brother. I'm aware of Bally's. I have not watched a single Grizzlies game on Bally's ever before in my life.
No?
I'm what you call a bootleg streamer.
You're one of those guys.
And Pete, I love hearing you guys, but I see y'all when I see y'all, man. I'm at the mercy of whatever the streaming service gives me. I get y'all sometimes. I might get Michael Cage and somebody else. I don't know, man. Like, and I hope every time. You remember the show Quantum Leap? You remember that?
Yeah.
It's like every time I cut on, it's like, I hope this is Pete and Brevin, man. But if it ain't, I ain't paying for this shit. So I'm at the mercy of the bootleggers, man. But like,
sports television right now is so crazy. NFL Sunday Ticket has gone to YouTube and YouTube TV.
They're speaking a foreign language to me, man. I don't know nothing about none of that. Hey, mine is all right here. This thing
I've not cut the cable yet because Valley Sports South is on the cable.
Exactly, man.
How I got to get it.
That's how you get your money, but they don't pay me, so I pirate you guys very well, man. It's in 4K, 80-inch television, pretty good stuff, man. But like I said, I'm at the mercy of whatever they give me, man.
As long as you dig the commentators, we're cool.
Yeah, and I hate when I cut on and it's not y'all. Like, who am I gonna get today? Oh, it's Pete and Brevin. Let's go. Sometimes it might be whoever, whatever. But I'm with you, brother. I'm with you in spirit, man. I support you. I'm just not financially supporting you. But I think Bally's, I can't say they're doing fine without me because they may not be doing too good without me at all. Maybe it might be all on me, man.
Could be.
How does it feel, Pete, when during the games where it's like, especially the national broadcast games, the ESPN games, things like that, that people you see on Twitter all over the place.
Yeah.
Man, I don't care if it's on ESPN. Thankfully, it's on ESPN, but man, I got to watch Pete and Brevin.
That is, I always say, we are our most popular when we don't do the game.
Everybody love you when they can't see you, man.
I know, and the thing of it is like Mike Breen is a really, really good friend, and Mike will come and ask me questions about the Grizzlies. Doris Burke will come and ask me questions about the Grizzlies. They really care about being right. Brian Anderson, Kevin Harlan from Turner, Ian Eagle, they're all friends of mine, and I kind of feel bad sometimes when Grizzlies fans go after them on social media because they're all quality broadcasters and they want to get it right. But you can't.
They don't cover the team like this. So
No.
Yeah.
And they will freely admit they parachute in, and see the Grizzlies maybe twice a year in person. We're on the plane with these guys. We're in the hotels with these guys. And so, of course we know more about them because we practically live with them. So that's the reason. But it is gratifying that people are so supportive of us because you don't get to last in a market for 20 years as I have, or, Brevin's going into year 14, Fish is going into year 17. You don't have that type of longevity if the people don't like you.
Yeah, man, you guys are definitely that crew for sure, man. I've had you on, I've had Rob on. Trying to get Brevin on soon, man. He's big timing, man.
He's hard
to get down, man. Hard to time down for sure, man. But it's my man Pete Pranica, man. Y'all know who he is, man. Y'all know what he does. One of the GOATs in the city of Memphis as far as broadcasting is concerned. Glad to have you on today, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, Pete, we appreciate you coming on today, man. Y'all know who it is. My man Pete Pranica, man. Like I said, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest commentators, broadcast guys y'all seen coming through Memphis, period, man. We've had you for about 24 years. I'm down for giving you a lifetime deal, man.
Okay.
Let's stop all this contract playing stuff, man. Ink this man. Just take care of the man for life, man. Whatever. I ain't in the pocket watcher. Whatever y'all paying him, give it to him for sure. Give it to him for life, man. We got to have Pete, my boy, in there for sure all the time. We're about to take a break, man. When we come back, the three-pointer here on the Edge of the Sain Show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
So Silverfield, in his immediate availability today, said, you guys are going to want to see something Thursday night. You guys are going to see something Thursday night you haven't seen from us before. We put in something last night that we've never done here.
I want it to kind of be the wing tee. I think that would be funny just to combat it. Like, personally, I don't think that's what's going to be. I think they're going to go 5 wide, like 5 true wide receivers out there. Look, I just said
I know.
I want it
if
to
that's what
spread
it is,
out.
I'm going to be so mad. You can't be throwing around some statement like this about nothing we've ever done before just because you're 5 wide without your tight end split out.
How many times has he talked about?
You're right.
Hasn't been a tight end.
Probably
There's always been a tight end.
Do we think it has to be offensively though?
No, but I don't know.
I don't think you tease something like that if it's defensive.
I know what it is.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
We're announcing it. I know y'all are kind of joking with the fans and everything, but it's time to stop being so humble. Y'all are suiting up on Thursday night.
No, I would. That would definitely be something that they
Left tackle
have never seen before.
TJ Willis.
That would be a terrible idea.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Are they keeping it vanilla because they played 2 bad opponents, or is it just a very basic offense? Like, will there be any creativity to this offense this year?
I think that in the pass game, they have the tendency to get creative. Like that RPO to Toski is fun, like wide open. I hate to be this guy. I'd go with the latter. I don't know if there's a lot of creativity in the run game.
Yeah.
Tim Cramsey hasn't shown it. It's inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, outside zone, inside zone, inside. It's just consistently out of the shotgun, handing a running back and in between the tackles and saying go. It's not working. You have to switch things up and give the defense a different look, and I don't think that Tim Cramsey's shown any level of tendency to do that. And
yeah, I do like the fact that they're throwing them the ball. They're getting them the ball in space there. But as far as running the ball and the running schemes, they're just not getting them in space. They're just ramming up the middle.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
Everybody, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show here for the 3-pointer. Shout out again to my man Pete Pranica. Great interview. Knew he'd bring some good stuff, man. Shout out for Pete, to Pete for sure. Time for the 3-pointer, man. We talk about 3 things going in the world of sports that are important to me. Hope they're important to you guys as well, but it's what's on my mind at this time. Number 1, Houston is trying to trade Kevin Porter Jr., including draft compensation for any team that takes him to get him off the roster. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to say something, man. This will be the last thing I say about Kevin Porter Jr. And there's too much attention to basketball stuff about something that doesn't have anything
Has
to do
nothing to do with basketball.
And I hate that we are guys like Shams, the national guys, are putting out these narratives, and they're trying to help Houston get a trade done for this dude.
That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And you're turning him from a basketball player to an asset, which is fine. I mean, I get that whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's just nasty work. And I'm not saying this to defend Kevin Porter Jr. at all. Let's deal with him on a legal side first, and then we can talk basketball. Seeing this team try to trade him now in the middle of this nastiness, man, is just horrible work to me. And then to see media guys who I know are putting this stuff out there to push that narrative forward is absolutely disgusting to me, bro. And I'm kind of over it. I'm not gonna speak anything more about it basketball wise. I don't care what team trades for him. I don't want to talk about that type of stuff, man. Why are we? This dude is being alleged of a horrible, heinous crime, and we're talking about it like, you know, whatever. Like it's nasty.
He broke this woman's neck.
Yeah, and we're talking about it like, yeah, man, they're trying to trade him, and their offers from stop, man. Talk about that in the background, or don't talk about it at all. Talk about it once the legal stuff is done. Like, I don't care to hear about Houston trying to move Kevin Porter Jr. now. Nasty stuff for sure. Number 2, Derrick Rose got married, man. Didn't get a chance to talk about this stuff today. Had the ceremony with Joaquim Noah, of all people, doing the ceremony. Man, I bet them boys got high as a damn kite, either before or after that situation. I would love to be in a good old smoke session with Joaquim Noah and Derrick Rose, man. I can imagine.
Could you hang with Joaquim Noah?
Hell
That's the question.
No. I would love to be able to. I would love to die trying. But them dudes for sure, man.
you go out.
I go out with a bang.
Go out on your shield,
If
baby.
I couldn't make it, man, I would try the hardest. I bet Derrick Rose and Joaquim Noah, man, were high as a kite. Man, them dudes were on the moon in a hot air balloon next to with a baboon. For real. Dudes are that high. But no, man.
I would enjoy getting to know Joaquim Noah.
Oh, who you telling, man? I bet them dudes.
Yeah, I bet they're fun.
I bet they're just at peace on their spiritual vibe. Come on, man. Shout out to Derrick Rose for sure, man. Derrick Rose might be the only dude on the team that's married to. Who else is married on this team, man? Tillman.
Xavier is. Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
Ain't nobody else on this team married, bro.
Yeah.
Steven Adams ain't married, is he?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
Who else?
JV was married.
Is John Conchar?
I heard John Conchar damn wound coon in the city.
God damn.
I was just putting that man business out
don't
there.
Don't put that man business out there like that.
No, I've heard like you can see like him out on the town or like on dating apps and shit like that. Dating apps, I don't know. I don't know about dating apps. But I've heard, I used to hear that about Grayson Allen though. Like you could kind of find him. You could right swipe and find Grayson Allen in your choices.
Man, we putting all.
Well, he ain't here no more, so it'd be all right.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, shout out though, man. Shout out to Derrick Rose getting married. Number 3. Why y'all want to play with Why y'all want to play with Coach Prime, man?
Come on, man.
Why y'all want to play with Coach Prime, man?
It's personal, man.
It's personal. All you gotta do is believe, man. Do you believe? Do you believe? It's all you had to do is believe. But y'all want to play with Coach Prime.
All you gotta do is just go play the game.
And then my man out there talking about like you know, I have enough respect to not wear a hat and shades when I'm talking to an adult in a press conference.
My mama taught me that.
Yeah, but like then of course, you know, the internet found clips of this dude doing the same exact thing with a hat.
Internet is undefeated, bro.
And glasses on. Yeah. Man, they hating on the swag is just killing them, man. They choking on the swagoo, man. They choking on it, man. Coach Prime is killing them.
I noticed something. Man. I noticed something today in one of those videos, and I was told Devin Walker from Ground City Media told me
that he did this at Jackson State, and I didn't notice this. Prime's got their Twitter handles on the back of their jerseys, their practice jerseys.
Okay.
That is so next level to me. Like, this dude just gets it at every level.
Yeah.
At every level.
But y'all know Deion is about to break college football, right?
100%.
Like, you know that dude's recruiting class for next year is about to be extremely nasty. Like, you know that, right? You know that's happening, right?
100%.
Man, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to see all this shit that Deion is doing. And my brother called me. He was like, man, he said, man, I'm pulling for Prime, man. I feel like this might be the week they lose. Just cause it's a game you expecting to win. I feel like, nah. Them boys will be so locked in Saturday, man. The boys about to be so locked in Saturday, man. And what's his name? Alex Norvell? What's his name? Fake ass
Jay
Norvell. Fake ass Mike Norvell. Get your ass up out of here, man.
Did you see somebody college football said Mike Norvell said this?
Yeah,
and everybody's like,
some publication.
It ain't Mike.
Hey, it might be Mike Norvell soon, though. It might be Norvell very soon.
Well,
Get this shit off.
I'll say this, man. As much as I love Prime, he don't want no piece of Florida State this year.
Oh, no, not this year. That's another thing, too, man. We got to pump the brakes. Like, we got to find a healthy place for Coach Prime. Like, I don't have, like, 9-win, 10-win expectations. I expect them to lose some games they're probably not supposed to lose.
Does this feel kind of like the first year of Penny Hardaway? We want all the smoke.
No, because like Penny could not answer. The smoke was choking the shit out of Penny.
But I'm saying we're only 2 games into the season. I think everybody needs to pump the brakes. But
it looks like Colorado's going to be legit.
They're going to be legit.
Like it looks like because Penny's stuff was looking kind of chokish on the smoke.
Well,
first year
we'll see.
He was dying of smoke inhalation that first season. But shout out to my boy Penny, man. He was tightening that shit up for sure. But yeah, man, that's a 3-pointer, man. Good stuff for sure. Also, did we talk about this the other day? 901 FC?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
But damn, here he is again. Check out your boy at 901 FC this Friday. Breaking the guitar, man. Has a black man ever done that?
Pop Star Chronicles, baby.
the first ever black man.
I don't think you're the first ever black man to do it, but you are the first ever.
I'm going to take claim to it.
You are the first pop star.
You can't name about the top of your head who did it. I'm taking claim for it.
Ja did it, right?
Oh, shit, my bad. And like half the Grizzlies.
Yeah, half the Grizzlies have done it, man. Like,
I'm the first regular ass dude.
There you go.
I'm the first regular ass dude from South Memphis to break the guitar.
The first South Memphian. Yeah. You're the first South Memphian to do it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, shout out to that, man. And make sure you guys check out Attitude MMA, man, this weekend, this Saturday at the Cannon Center. We're giving away 2 free tickets. No, 2 sets of 2 tickets. So 4 tickets altogether. 2 people. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
2 times 2 is 4, man.
2 times 2 is 4.
We're giving away 2 sets of 2 tickets to the Attitude MMA event at the Cannon Center. All you got to do is comment your Twitter handle in the comments of this video today. We're going to announce the winner by 12 noon on Saturday, the day of the show.
It's going to be a blast, man.
It's easy, man. Just put your name in there, and we'll put them in the randomizer, and we'll have a winner.
In the randomizer.
And I'm telling you, it's an awesome show, man. I slept on it. I had no expectations of it. My expectations are high as shit. High as Joaquim Noah and Derrick Rose.
That's right.
At the reception.
It's a good callback, man. No,
that's how my expectations are.
There's honestly, I will say this, man. Having gone to some live MMA events, MMA live events are a blast.
Right.
It is tense. It is awesome. Everybody's freaking out. It's great.
Right.
So,
and if y'all saw the interview we had with my boy Trey Manley
the
other day, y'all should have saw Kenny Stubblefield fanboy ass after the last game, after the last show. Well, this man had a whole nother hour interview with us.
We talked for an hour. We talked for an hour.
I was like, Kenny, I'd love to get some Whataburger right now.
Exactly.
Sit here, you interview this man.
Yeah, man, it was bad. I apologize.
But yeah, that's what's up, though, man. That's the 3-pointer. We're about to take a break, man. We come back inside the same brain. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape, Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause, and most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
And I wonder if Silverfield's time in the NFL is the reason for this, but it feels like a much more NFL style
100%.
to do that as opposed to what you see a lot in college is just keep doing your thing, keep putting up points.
I think style points really only matter if your job is on the line or you are playing a ranked opponent. I think that's really the only
Or
time.
you're at a place like Memphis where you have, like, you don't have a huge core fan base. That may not be the case at all college football programs.
Yeah.
But definitely in Memphis where you have, a core of 25,000-ish fans that are fans, and then you've got to bring in 10, 15 casual that are, their number one team is somewhere else. But if you're exciting and fun, they're going to come to a Thursday night game against Navy when their team's not playing.
But I think you also get that if you just win.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Are they keeping it vanilla because they played two bad opponents, or is it just a very basic offense? Like, will there be any creativity to this offense this year?
I think that in the pass game, they have the tendency to get creative. Like that RPO to Toski is fun, like wide open. I hate to be this guy. I'd go with the latter. I don't know if there's a lot of creativity in the run game.
Yeah.
Tim Cramsey hasn't shown it. It's inside zone, inside zone, inside zone, outside zone, inside zone, inside. It just consistently out of the shotgun, handing a running back and in between the tackles and saying go. It's not working. You have to switch things up and give the defense a different look. And I don't think that Tim Cramsey's shown any level of tendency to do that. And
I do like the fact that they're throwing them the ball. They're giving them the ball in space there. But as far as running the ball and the running schemes, they're just not. They're not getting them in space. They're just ramming it up the middle.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Dope interview with my man, Pete Pranica, man. Good stuff he was talking about. It's just, I think it's a really interesting perspective with him that he dealt with like Baby Zebo. He dealt with like Jailblazer Zach Randolph, and then he dealt with, the glorified version of Zebo as well. And then we get him, he's watching Ja. He's watching the same thing all over again. So, like I said, I think that's super dope that we have Pete here too, has had those experiences. But inside the same brain is what we do here, where I talk about something random, typically. I may or may not have been under my glaucoma medication when these things came to mind. But today I'm going to talk about something. Kenny, school started back a few weeks ago.
Yes, it did.
And when school starts back, there's an event. I'm sure they have these events all over the country. I'm sure they do, because I saw this on Twitter, and I talked about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's donuts with dad and muffins with mom time, Kenny. And times have changed. We've kind of changed up that event. For those of you who don't know, Donuts with Dad is a thing where your boy and girl kids, your sons and boy and girl kids. What am I talking about? Your sons or your daughters go with your dad. It's not like dad. It's not like man boy or whatever. Like the daughter or the son goes to school early. You typically like 30 minutes early.
Yeah.
And they sit and they have donuts with their dad. And it used to be a speaker would come.
Yeah.
And kind of say something to kind of motivate the dads. Then they have the version for the moms called Muffins with Moms, where you do the same thing. The son or daughter goes to have muffins with the mom. Somebody speaks, they motivate, and it's just this cute, beautiful thing. And as a young dad with Sabrina, when Sabrina was like kindergarten, first grade, I would really look forward to this. Like I really liked the moment to spend time with my child, and it was just always liked it. You know what I mean? And they've kind of changed it over time. They've they call some of them. What did I see?
There's some grandparent ones.
Yeah, they get it's kind of like because a lot of these kids like may not have a father that lives in the house with them, or their dad might not be in their lives. So they call it like, I've seen like, donuts with parents, pastries with parents. I've seen donuts with your favorite guy day, and it's kind of, that type of thing.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And I'll say this, man, and I I did some crowdsourcing today at work. we had a meeting today. And I said, y'all mind if I ask y'all a question before we get started? And we did some crowdsourcing, man. And I said, what do you guys take on donuts with dad? They said, what do you mean? I said, if a child's dad is not in his life, what are your thoughts on the mom attending the event?
Right.
And some of the women were like, nah, I'll ask like my brother to do it. I'll ask, his coach. I'll ask a mentor, my pastor, granddad, my friend, the guy I'm dating at the time. Those type of things, right? And a couple ladies like, I'm going to be there. It was that kind of energy coming back at me, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, and I rolled my eyes at it. And I'll say this today as well. There are a lot of awesome mothers out there, a lot of awesome single mothers out there who have to go above and beyond as parents. And I am an advocate for being a father. I'm a proud father. I enjoy dad life. I'm getting ready to go to a fatherhood conference out in Nashville in a few weeks, and I am amped. I'm excited about it, man. You would think I'm going to a Drake concert. Excited I am about this fatherhood conference because I love my kids, man. Everything I do is for my kids for sure. And here's my take on it. I don't think those events are for women. And I'm not saying that these women aren't awesome moms. I'm not saying they're not incredible moms. But they're not men, bro. Like, is there certain things that when a child has that intimate time with their dad or with a male figure, whether it's a mentor, coach, uncle, granddad, mom's friend, whatever. There's a different, it hits differently, man. Just like if there was a Muffins with Mom event, I'm not gonna take my ass in there if Gabe's mom was not in his life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Gabe's custodial parent. Gabe lives with his mom, right?
Right.
But our plan, between me and Gabe's mom is that that's going to change. Gabe's going to come live with me. In the event that she moved out of town and Muffins with Mom was this particular week and she couldn't make it now, Gabe would just miss that, man. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't show up and be like, hey, I'm mom and dad. Like I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Because I think there may be some intimate conversations in that Muffins with Mom that moms just need to be around other women. You know what I mean? So I would sit that one out. You know what I mean? So that's just where I stand on that, man. And because I remember being a young dad and pulling from this dude that was speaking at the first Donuts with Dad that I went to. And I remember there was a lady there who was, doing the whole mom and dad thing and ain't nobody leaving my baby out type thing. And it really bothered me because the guy was cooking. The guy who was there was really cooking, man. He was saying some stuff that was really helping me. And I saw other young dads there, and it was stuff that was helping them out. And me being a non-biological dad, like it was stuff I was pulling on this dude. Like I was like, yeah, man, keep talking. But I could tell that like he couldn't go where he wanted to go because there was a mom there. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying these ladies aren't awesome. I'm not saying they're not amazing moms.
Right.
But I think those events should be separated. I think you should allow. I'm all about inclusion, integrating all those type of things. But I think that when you do those type of things, there are a lot of intimate moments that can get disrupted. When there's something great, that powerful that happens when all those dads in the room there with their kids. I love to see it, man.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, and if you do it where it's just parents with patients with parents, a lot of dads are just gonna say, "Oh, baby, you go."
Right.
Instead of having those moments where the dads are there. And I was talking about it today, and the lady who was the instructor there is one of my mentors. She said, she was like, "I agree with you because if you make it where the women have to invite another man." That's another man that may not have kids that you may be grooming him to see the importance of him being in that child's life, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just think that when you make those things all inclusive like that, it just kind of messes up that whole thing. And I hope people ain't mad at me for saying what I'm saying.
No.
I think that what I'm saying is real. I think that you still should have dads out here, man.
Absolutely.
Like I'm not ashamed to be a dad. I know you love being a father as well, man.
I do.
And I hate you missing this conference, man. Because I'm telling you. Dude, I cannot wait, man, to go to this fatherhood conference. I want so many nuggets. Because sometimes, man, I don't feel like the best dad, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Co-parenting effing sucks, bro. You know what I mean? For sure. So,
yeah.
That's it, man. That's how I feel about that whole thing. You got anything on this, man?
I'm just sitting here and I'm listening to you, man. And I love your heart, bro. Like I do.
You, man.
And I've told over the last couple of days, I've told numerous people, I've known Anthony before this,
any of this shit,
before this sports shit.
Right.
Like I've known you for a long time.
I got a heart for people. I don't give a damn what team you cheer for, to be honest with you, man.
Right.
Like, and that's why whenever people are mad at me about whatever, if I really feel like what I said hurt you or confused you, I'll have a conversation with you about it, man. I don't my DMs are super open, bro.
Right.
Like I don't mind having those conversations at all, because at the end of the day, man, I've got a heart for people, man. I got a heart for this city and for the people of this city, man. And I'm glad you said that too, because it was something I left out when I went on my early rant in the beginning of the show. There was a guy who was a missionary who was here in the city of Memphis, and he said, man, I've done mission work in all places across the world, third world countries. I've done all these things. And he said, he said the greatest injustice that I've ever seen, Kenny Stubblefield, was the Shelby County. The greatest injustice against black people was the Shelby County school system. And it blew my mind. He said, man, it's insane that in a city this size, there's such a difference between the schools on one side of town and the other side of town.
And we've experienced it on a very personal level.
Yes, man. And working in the trenches with these kids. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning of the show, man. Like the audacity of you to compare your silo, your Saturday afternoon entertainment, your twice a week college basketball entertainment, and to say that you guys can speak for the city and this is the city's team. And dude.
Yeah.
Nah. That's a whole nother. Nah, man. There are little kids who ain't never gone to those games, never will go to those games. You know what I mean? So and I get what people are trying to say. It's been here forever. I am a sports fan because of Elliot Perry, because of Tiger basketball. Memphis Tiger basketball is the reason why I'm sitting here in this seat talking about the Grizzlies or whatever I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like I can acknowledge that, but man, we have to look at the broader picture of this thing, man. We can't just sit here and say, oh, this is our team. And I'll say this too, man. I've said this forever. Like the U of M they missed a generation, bro. They missed a generation. Like there's a generation of young people that are not connected to the University of Memphis athletics. And it's not just black kids. Like this, it just is what it is, bro. There was a kid on Twitter. He put that tweet out and it blew my mind when he said that I'm 23. He said I'm 23 years old. It's 2023. He said I'm 23. I'm a student at the University of Memphis. He said I'm a Grizzlies fan because that's what I grew up on. This kid said he grew up on the Grizzlies. Bro, when he said that shit, not only did I feel old as hell.
Yeah.
But it scared me, man, because there's a generation of people coming that are in this, that are live walking adults in Memphis, Tennessee, who did not grow up on Tiger basketball. Their introduction to sports was powering them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's wild, man. Wild that those kids are adults now.
Yep.
And yeah, it's wild stuff. And like I said, man, like it's a dumb conversation because we already know what's best for the city. What's best for the city is being a pro team.
Yep.
It's this period. We love the Tigers. Even love Tiger football. Hope we're 3-0 as y'all are watching this. As we're recording this, the game's going on. I don't know the score.
Right now it's 7-0 Memphis.
All right, there you go. Go Tigers, go for sure. But yeah, man, we gotta move on, man. We gotta move on as a city. If anyone is confused or upset by anything I said, to hell with some of y'all. I said that in the first segment, but I also hope some of y'all have better understanding. Hope you were able to see the root of where I'm coming from on that. It's not to make white people mad, but it's just to let y'all know.
There's another reality out there.
Yeah, it's another reality. You can't speak for the city.
Yeah.
You can't. And we love the Tigers, all those type of things, but that fan base, that predominantly white, upper middle class, rich, wealthy fan base can't speak for the city because you don't reflect the city. It just is what it is, man. But for those
Real
of y'all,
quick, let me go back to this Donuts for Dads thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
You're sitting here and you were speaking very eloquently about the, as a social worker, the dynamics of these things. I'm gonna tell you how my brain was working while you were talking about this stuff. I was rethinking our conversation about dine in and carry out.
Yeah.
From last.
All right,
last
explain that one. All right, come on.
The idea of taking my kid or my kids to a Donuts for Dad event with a group of people and eating some old stale donuts. I'll just take my kid to a I'll go get some donuts before they get up in the morning, bring it back to the house, and we'll eat donuts at the house.
Yeah, man, do that.
Or
eat them at the donut place, man.
That's right. Because I get so filled with anxiety when I drive up into the parking lot and I see the Donuts for Dad, the muffins.
So you never gone?
Never gone.
Come on, Kenny, you serious?
Dead serious.
It's awesome, man.
Never gone. And
you get to see other dads in the school and kids.
I don't care.
We'll go get you some donuts and bring them home, man.
Exactly. That's what so you're sitting here speaking eloquently. I'm honestly over here going, man, I'm a terrible father, man.
I can't even sit there and eat a freaking donut with my kid.
No, man, I'll go buy some donuts and bring them back to the house, bro.
That's what's up, though. Yeah, do that, man, for sure. I know you spend a lot of time. And here we are, man. Here we are as two dads who have kids who are playing sports. Planning our recording time around 3rd and 4th grade volleyball and all this other crap. Like, man, get this out of my face, man.
I got Anthony's working around football. I got volleyball in the work.
Football and soccer, and basketball is coming.
I'm telling you, man, it is nonstop. It is hilarious how much our life has changed.
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation through text yesterday about, hey, man, what's
how we gonna play this?
What's Gabe's schedule for football? Hey, what's Sayla's schedule for volleyball?
Man,
hey,
we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen, man.
We'll make it happen for y'all, man. We appreciate you guys checking in with us. For those of y'all that are mad at me, I'm sorry, but you'll be all right for sure. But yeah, for Kenny Stumpfield behind the glass, for my boy Perry Sharkey at Bible study, this is your boy Anthony Sain, man. We out this joint. We'll see y'all next week, man. Anthony Sain Show.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.